Blog Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome to Kingdom Justice. This is your host Courtney Jones speaking, and today we had part 2 of Fight the Amalkites. Now, we've been teaching on this Fight the Amalkites and what the word Amalekites mean. And in case you didn't see the first one, I advise you to actually see the first one. But what it means is eyes of doubt, eyes of doubt. It means eyes of doubt. And so what it causes, that it causes spiritual blindness. That means that what do the devil wants to do? He wants to put what you call doubt into you. We were talking about this spirit named Erich. It's called Erich. And what it does is it causes people to be decisive. Well, what it does is that one of the main things it does, it causes people to be confused. It makes people overthink things, you know. Like for 1 minute, you're like, oh, should I do this? Oh, I don't know if God want me to do this. Maybe he did want me to do it. Maybe he do. See, it makes you do that. It makes your mind boggle. It makes it start to fight against each other. It causes division. And then what ends up happening, you don't end up doing anything or you do the wrong thing. It also causes people to procrastinate. That means that something you should have did 3 years ago, you still say, I'm gonna do it one day eventually. It's also the spirit that causes this, because people think that they caused this on their own. Like, well, you're a procrastinator. Well, all you gotta do is start telling them now that, hey, you Erich. You got a spirit of Erich on you. That's why you don't never do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. See, now we got to start putting stuff in place. See, these are spirits that these people are governed. See, when you see these things, then you know that seed has been planted there. So you see this person that always procrastinate, like, oh, I procrastinate about everything. I take forever to do everything. Well, Erich is there. See, Erich's been planting a seed in that person. That's why you look at somebody else and say, well, you know what? They're the opposite. They're not like that. And because you know why? He ain't there. He's not with him, but he's with the other person. Well, that's how it works. You see, a lot of times we don't look at these. So when you see people that's in spiritual blindness, like a lot of times we say, look at the believers out here. They say they're believers, but there's so many of them are walking and serving idols, you know. Jesus posts. They got to post all these fake Jesus up. And the reason why they're doing this is because, you know why? They have been spiritually blinded. And they don't know that they're spiritually blinded. They have made this covenant with this, saying that it's okay, this is good behavior. When the word keeps telling you, do not make images. Do not make images. But see, some people can't serve Jesus the way they need to serve it. Some people have to see him on a wall. They have to see him on a post, on a picture, instead of seeing him for who he is. You see? So what happens? You know, so if Jesus been trying to show you who he is all this time. But people have been selling for looking at a picture on the wall. And they didn't fell for the picture on the wall or the way the world and say the way Jesus look, the way they saying he act, instead of finding out for him what he looks like, finding out for him who he is. You see, this is what they've been doing. You see, that's why Paul said, I serve the unseen God, the God that you see. I serve the God that don't have no image. So I see this all the time on my, you go on the Google Plus pages, on my Google Plus, websites, certain things. You see people when you go through different websites looking at people things. You see, man, people got idols up. I even see churches that have statues up. You see with Jesus and statues of Jesus on the cross. Jesus ain't no cross no more. I see them all the time, and I talk to them all the time. I talk to them every day. I see them all the time. So I'm trying to figure out what cross he's still on. He ain't on no cross no more. He ain't on no cross no more. But you know what? They still got this image that he's still on that cross. He's still not the Jesus that's empowered. See, he was already walking the planet. When he was walking the planet before he got on the cross, he was he was full of power. But when he ascended, when he came back from the dead, in his glory, see, he was another level that he was at. And they don't want people to see that the immortality. You see, they don't want people to see that glory. They don't want to see people to see that authority. They don't want to see that all people now and nations got to come under him. They don't want to see that. They rather see the one who walked. They rather see a mighty man that walked around that could have been a prophet that was doing miracles. But they don't want to see that. You see, and this is why they create these images. He looked like some hippie guy they come up with, some hippie, some guy like he riding around with Scooby and Shaggy. You see, and this is the image they come up with. Oh, he got to be this pretty boy, this certain height, pretty boy. He look like this. Gotta be this height, so tall. Gotta be this. Gotta be that. They create all these images. Then they're all different from each other, but it's okay. It's still got the same kind of it's still the same kind of format. It may be a little bit different, but it's the same thing we're looking for. And so we got to get away from these things, because see, when you see people doing stuff like this, I'm trying to tell you, they are spiritually blinded. That's when you say Amalekite is in the place. The Amalekites running that place, and if the church, you see that happening, you see church throwing Halloween still and all this stuff. I've seen this people throwing Halloween pumpkin bag in church. Them people are spiritual blindness. Spiritual blindness. The Amalekites then got in the place. Spiritual blindness. See, it's a point where people have to start seeing these things. You got to look at a person and say, oh, look at this person here. They still chasing after all things of the flesh. They doing this, but they trying to mix God with it. Well, guess what? You got a Gergesite spirit. That's what you're doing. You're trying to mix. You want the earth. You want all the earth things. So what happened? They preach all these earth things to people. They preach all these earth things to people, up and down. You got to have this. I heard a preacher one time say, you take stuff that you don't even want. Like, you don't want no hot tub. I knew a guy that didn't even have a hot tub, and you know what? He had one and didn't even know what it was. See, that's called covetousness. If a person preaching that, that's covetousness. You covered on to something. Remember, we were talking about this scripture. We were talking about this before. We were talking about Achan. How Achan went and took the Babylonian garment. See, that Babylonian garment represent Babylon. He put on what Babylon put on. And he said, I took it and I covenanted. I took the silver, I covenanted. You see, I didn't need it. You notice that he didn't need it. He said, I seen it and I wanted it. See, I didn't need it, but I took it anyway. Because my eyes was big. And I covenanted. See, if you start telling people to take stuff, oh, you don't even need it. You don't need it. Maybe somebody else need it, but you don't need it. But what happened? People started to covenant, They started to coven, They coven things. And so they start to go after things, they coven things. And a lot of people get this mixed up as well as about this. A lot of people get mixed up, in this to say, well, you know what? See, that's why I never ask God for anything. You see, people like this, I never ask God for anything because I do quite well on my own. See, and that's what's in their heart. They do quite well on their own. So they figure I never have to ask God for anything when it comes to that nature. Hey, I don't need to ask God for a wife. I've always been good in the women's department. See, he's the number one person that's married to a devil. You see, because they got away from the things of God. Amalekite them blinded them, thinking that, oh, I don't have to ask because I'm doing very well on my own. Now, what happened to a person? They'll never want to come down to dependence on God. So when Jesus told the rich man, I'll tell you, it's time to come down to depend on God. The rich man said, oh, see, the rich man got to go now. See, why the rich man had to leave? See, the rich man kept on trying to boast that he was following commandments. You see, I'm not committing adultery. I'm not stealing. I'm not killing. I'm not doing those things. See, I'm disciplined. Well, I try to tell people, you have people that's everyday people. You got people that's everyday people that's disciplined that don't do none of those things. But when it comes down to say, okay, now give up everything who you are. Get on the cross. See, a lot of folks don't want to get on that cross. So they figure, well, Jesus on the cross. No, you supposed to be. Jesus say, pick up your cross, follow me. See, Jesus already been on the cross. He's already got off of it. We are supposed to be the ones on the cross. See, you got to understand that you on this cross. You see, you're the one suffering right now. You're going to go through persecution, people spitting on you. People keep telling you to prove you from God. Show me something. Give me a sign. If Jesus loved you so much, come off that cross. See, show me something. Prove. Oh, you did that miracle? Wow, do another one. See, you're on that cross now. You come on down off of it. You're supposed to be this person. You're supposed to be the son of God. Come on down. Because in their mind, they feel that you're supposed to be invincible. You see, you're supposed to be invincible. But see, what they don't understand is that you're going to go through suffering. Because why? You're on the cross. See, the problem is, people don't understand that when you're on this cross, you're dying slowly. So you're starting to die slowly. You're starting to say, you know what? Then you know what happened when a person finds themselves dying? Because we all been there at some point in time. We had some sickness that hit us, things that happened to us, and we all done been here. But we feel like, oh, you know something? I may not make it out of this. Feel that bad. And what's some of the things that happened to us? We start to think. We start thinking about the things we value most, or the things that we miss most, or we will miss most. You see? So people start saying, you know what, if I die, I'm not really worried about. I never got a chance to go to Tahiti or somewhere, Hawaii, but oh, you know what? I can't leave my kids. And so what they happen? They start fighting. Now they fighting to get off the cross. You see? Now they fighting to get off the cross. You see, Jesus died pretty quickly on that cross because he let it go. He let go. He didn't fight. He didn't fight it on the cross. He let it go. See, some of us still holding on. We on the cross right now, and we still holding on to that lust. Like, oh, I got lust left. I got to come off. I got to come off the cross. Got to come off. We don't want to let it go because the suffering is too great. The ideal of thinking, I'll never do that again. I'm stuck. That's why most people marriages are ruined. They be together for a long time, and then all of a sudden they get married, and then they start looking. The devil starts showing them, oh, see. Now, see, the devil trying to ruin your marriage because long as y'all was living in sin, he liked it that. He wanted you blinded by the fact. Every excuse in the world, what's the sense of being married? It's the same thing. What do we need this? See, every excuse he can come up with to blind you to think this is acceptable. And then soon when you finally come out of that, you see, and you get married, and that's over with. Then all of a sudden people fall apart after that. A year later, 2 years, it's over with. Because now the devil, that same devil that been letting you ride like that, now he's turning against you. You see, because now you're doing things the right way. And now he coming against you, and you say, oh, man, I don't know what happened. We having the worst years we ever had, so we got things been worse, so we got married. Of course. Because you was living in sin that whole time. As long as you're doing that, the devil can come through the front door. He come through the front door now. His clutches is into you. He got his claws into you. He got his claws to your kids. He got you blind. He's spoiling your house. You don't even see it because you're spiritually blinded. But soon when you go do the right thing and get married, all of a sudden, oh, now that enemy turned on you. And now he's sending all the gates of hell after you. He's calling all those things that he got a case built on you. Then he calling, hey, he do this. Hey, he doing that. He got this habit. Now all that stuff is coming against you now. And your marriage breaking, your finance break. Now all of a sudden he turned on you. When you try to do things the right way, he turned on you. And when he turned on you like this, now all of a sudden what you find yourself doing? Now you find out that your marriage not working. Things are not happening. And so you see this kind of stuff happen. And so what I'm trying to show you is that, you get people like this. They don't understand how this stuff works. So they just thinking that this, we start to accept spiritual blindness. You start to say, you know what, that just happened to people. You know what, it happened to 50% of the people. Normally most marriages break up. See, you get the Philistines. You see, the Philistine logic. They come in with their psychology. That's a Philistine knowledge. That's their gospel. They come in with their psychology, their statistics, their numbers. See, people are prone to do this and that, and this is that. And so this they come in. Most people, see, it's like a 30% ratio. See, they come in with that Philistine spirit. That's what spirit science is, psychology. That's all it is. That's all they try to do. That's all their gospel is. And people fall for it all the time. And you notice that they never cure anything. Okay, that man got bipolar 2. How many he got? He bipolar 23. Okay, I guess at this point, his head spinning around, he chewing on dogs. I guess he do got a problem. So a question, how you going to change this? Well, we're going to give him some lithium. Well, that's not going to do anything. He's still like that the next day. They trying to put demons to sleep. You see, that ain't going to work. She full of anxiety. How you gonna solve that problem? Oh, we'll give her some Xanax, some Zoloft, depressant. Them are demons. Why is she still on Zoloft 5-10 years later? Why is she still on Xanax? She hooked on it. Why is she still every time? Oh, I feel a little bit worrying. Let me take this. Yeah, you feel that demon coming up on you stronger. So let me take this pill. That's all it is. That's the spirit of fear. It's called a hitchhike spirit. You know, that's what it did. I'd have been there with this. I didn't talk about this before. How they took advantage, tried to take a hold of me back then. And when you face it, it left. But see, this is what people trying to do. They trying to figure out ways. You see, listen to this foolishness, this Philistine gospel. You see, and what I'm trying to tell you, people into these things, you're spiritually blinded. You're spiritually blinded. That's all it is. Amalekite's been there. Another word for the Amalekite, we were talking about this. Who's the king of the Amalekites? We were talking about this on part 1. The king of the Amalekites' name is Agag. Agag, and what Agag means is the fiery one, the serpent, the devil. So he's the leader, the king over spiritual blindness. That's why I say he deceived the world. Well, he can't deceive the world unless he got them blind to the truth. You see? And so, like, more than anything, he's going to attack people that's in the church. That's like, for instance, people who possessed by Canaanite spirits, people who possessed by these spirits of homosexuality, sexual immorality, physical pleasure desire. They want to keep on doing drugs and alcohol. They want to be, they try anything. They want to be in all this. Well, see, that's a spirit that takes hold of these people, and it's very aggressive. And so what had happened is that, we know what happened? Since the Philistines can't get rid of it, because a demon not going to cast out a demon. So you know the psychologists, you see them, they can't heal all these homosexuals out here. They can't stop it. So what we say, well, it ain't no cure for that. It's just a choice. They come down. It's just a choice. It's not mentally. We looked at the brain and see. There's none of that Philistine stuff works. We don't know why they that way. I don't know. It's a choice, I guess. You know, they don't know what to do because they don't know how to solve a problem, because a demon ain't gonna cast out another demon. So that spirit ain't gonna cast out that spirit. So how a Philistine spirit gonna cast out a Canaanite? It ain't gonna happen. I tell you this much: you get rid of the Canaanite spirit, the guy, this person ain't homosexual no more. You get out the Canaanite spirit, this person ain't on crack no more. As you go, you see, these are the things that we got to start paying attention to. These people are losing this battle, and most of the children of God are losing this battle as well, because because they're spiritually blinded. And the devil has got in and took advantage of these people because they're spiritual blinded. So we're going to go through this. I want you to see this, because see, what happens to people a lot of times, see, they're so blinded by this because they're so blinded, they think that they're not blinded. They think everything's fine because nothing ever happened to me. You see, I must be doing well because I'm never sick. I never have bad things happen to me like that, so I must be doing fine. No, you've been ineffective. How are you in a war and you was dominating in the war, and they're not going to bring a bunch of firepower towards you? That's not happening. And even walking with God, God himself is going to put you through trials and tests. So how you never get anything? Not everything just go your way. See, something wrong already. Yeah, everything go your way, and then you fall off the cliff. You wake up in hell, and you wonder how you got there. Now, everything went my way. Oh, I'm in hell. See, that's something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Well, I don't be tested. God ain't certain thing. I ain't going through persecution. I ain't going through suffering. How are you not? You on the cross? Did you pass out? See, are you asleep? That when you're asleep, you don't feel nothing. The doctors put you to sleep. They cut you open. So maybe they put people to sleep when they give them a lethal injection. They fall asleep first, then their heart give out. See, maybe you asleep. That's why you don't feel nothing. A lot of people don't feel. You ain't gonna feel nothing. You're sleeping. By the time you wake up, it's too late. Been sleeping all these years. So this is some of the things we need to talk about, because this is going on too much, and you see this too much. You see these people, they look like they believers, don't they? Don't they like believers? You see them, they praise the Lord, hallelujah. It's all over their pages. You see on their pages, they got all this stuff about God. Oh, I'm sold out, and then they got an idol sitting on top of the page. I tell a person in a minute. If you go to a church. If you go to a church and you hear the minister say it's a child there that's dead or somebody there young before their time, they dead, and you hear a minister say this ever. He say, listen, that's how it is. We don't know what the Lord, the Lord give it, the Lord take it. It was just a time. Get out of that church. That preacher is dry, and when you're in a dry place, ain't nothing coming good from that. Because only Amalkites only live in dry places. That means that pastor don't believe what he even preaches. I done seen pastors like this. Like I said, they go pray for people, and they're praying for people with the whole thing of knowing this person they believe gonna die. Like, oh, you look real bad, sister. But they ain't gonna say it, but it's what their heart saying. They like, oh, I remember seeing, Brother Phil like this. He had maybe a day left in him, but you look worse. And so you got this guy laying hands on you when he feel in his heart you ain't gonna make it anyway. And then they come back and say, well, you know what? He just didn't, she just didn't get her miracle. What do you mean she didn't get her miracle? What are you talking about? Then he trying to sugarcoat it, cover it up. God, it was just her time. It wasn't her time. How you guys about the time? They 10 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old. How there was their time? We make up any excuse in the world not to have faith in God. You see, not to have faith in God. God told you that it's going to be everybody going to live out all their days. He didn't say they're going to live a full life all their days. See, he didn't say they're going to die at 20, 30. So why is that happening? Well, we got to sit there and think. Why is this happening to me? See, how can I be with cancer at 45 dying when I'm supposed to live off my days? So you got to ask yourself, what's going on here? Something ain't right. Something ain't right here. So you're looking for the preacher to come and pray for you. This preacher may be the devil incarnated. You're looking for him to pray for you to get healed. When you got Jesus right there at your disposal, call on him right there. See, that's why I try to tell people. Some people don't sometimes, they don't understand these things. They don't understand the system of God. So because, they understand the system of God, they spend too much time in church being blinded, doing nothing, and they understand the system of God. Then they find out one day, ooh, I need faith. Ooh, I need to believe. I need to believe. Like, oh, you need to believe. See, adrenaline is not, adrenaline is not going to save you. You see what I'm saying? That's like, for instance, a person can say, well, I never lift weights, and all of a sudden my car was on top of my kid, and I picked the car up because of my adrenaline. Well, that's not going to save you with God. That don't work. That ain't going to work. See, you done had all these demons and got in, all these things that happen. See, sometimes this is what happened to people. They let the demons get in, and as this stuff happens. So let's go talk about it. Because, see, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that sometimes you need to get away from the people that you're around. Sometimes the people, like I said, you got some of these churches, people, you got to get away from these people that you're around. Because, see, if what they believe, what you believe what they believe in. And so if they going down, you got to get away from that. Now, we done talked about this spirit before. We done talked about the spirit of a parasite spirit. We done talked about how this is a small village, but also you have the Hivites, which is a bigger village. They're a village, but they're a village of uppity people, a different kind of group of people. They're people that are overconfident. And they like the opposite of the parasite. The parasite's all small. I don't believe this. I don't believe I'm nothing. Well, the Hivite believe they're too much. The parasite feel I don't believe. I don't think I deserve anything. Well, the Hivite believe they deserve everything in the flesh. I want the Gucci's. I want the everything. I want stuff that I don't even want, just to have it. I ain't even wearing the clothes, but I want them. So let's go to Mark chapter 8 verse 22, and it says this in Mark chapter 8:22. It says, and they came to Bethsaida, and it says that, and some people brought to him a blind man. Now they brought him a blind man, and begged him to touch him. Now they brought this man to Jesus and they begging Jesus to touch the man. But watch what Jesus can do. They say, and he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village. Remember the village. Led him out of the village. And when he had spit on his eyes and laid hands on him, he asked him, "Do you see anything?" The man replied, he said, and he looked up and said, "I see men, but they look like trees walking." Now, here's Jesus. For Jesus to heal this man, first he took him out of the village. He took him away from these sort of people, because when people in these little communities like that or in these areas, they're prone to do what they see other people do. That's like sheep. You see, most of them want to follow the multitude. But sometimes that's not a good thing. Some of us want to go to church because it's a big church. Some of us want to do other things because it's another thing. Some of us want to go to church because he preach what we want to hear. You see, we can go in there and he don't preach about what's clean, what's unclean. You see, he don't preach about godliness. He don't preach about the kingdom the way it needs to be. He don't preach about how we all need to get up. We all accountable. See, he don't want to make us all accountable. He want to make us think that he's accountable. And you only accountable when you don't pay his money. See, what are you doing at church 10 years and he still got to lay hands on people? No, get up, you go do it. What you waiting around for? I don't care who you is. I don't care male or female. Go do it. You believe in Jesus? Go do it. See, no. Let's not do that. See, let's not do stuff like this, because if we get everyone involved, then eventually they're gonna go to another level, and then another level of knowledge, and then they won't need me, and then I won't have this. I won't have all this what I have. Then I may lose my position here, because how can I see myself here when all this is happening? Now, it says that the man said, "I see men, but they look like trees walking." Now, let's be honest. When you ever see a tree walk? Have you ever seen a tree walking? I ain't never seen a tree walk. I seen a storm throw one around, throw one from one place to another. We done seen people chop trees down. And when you know what, you chop them down, they just hit the ground. Wherever they fall, they lay. If they gonna roll, they roll. But other than that, I don't see trees walking. You see, because the reason why I'm saying this is because you got people who they read this, they don't know what the meaning of this is, because they don't study the word enough to know the meaning. They don't follow Jesus enough for Jesus to show them these things. So they'll read this and say, trees was walking. What do these people mean? Well, see, this is why these people need to know these certain things that they don't be knowing. Now, what we're going to do is let's go to Isaiah chapter 61. We go to Isaiah 61. Now, Jesus say that I'm gonna go to verse 3. Isaiah 61 verse 3. It said, "To appoint to them the mourners in Zion, to give to them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garments of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness." Now, God is talking about people that he called trees. And so they're going to be doing what? Walking. In what? Walking in the judgment of God. Now notice he said this is what's going to happen to them. Now he said they can be called trees of righteousness. That, let's go into this, righteousness, the planting of the Lord. The planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. So therefore, these are going to be trees, which are people, that's going to be walking in what? The statutes, the ordinance of God, and the judgment of God. So these are people. Now, who he seen when he looked up? He seen Jesus here and the disciples. And he looked at Jesus and the disciples, and he see trees walking. So that means Jesus opened up his spiritual eyes before he opened up his physical eyes. He opened up his spiritual eyes, the ones that Adam lost. Remember, Adam had the spiritual eyes until he took on the knowledge, because that's what that means. It's the knowledge of God and the knowledge of the devil. So what Jesus showed him, he opened up his spiritual eyes. And when he did, this man started seeing Isaiah 61, and he didn't even know the word. He didn't even know the word, and he's seeing it. Now, let me show you something here. Let's go a little further down. Now, why is this important? You may say, why is it important that he see trees walking? He see men that are walking, sons of God. See, sons of God that's walking, trees walking. Why is this important? Why is it important to you and everybody else's life? Well, because let's go to the 4th verse. This is why this is important. And it says, and they shall build the old wastes. They shall rise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolation of many generations. That sounds like they're pretty important. That they're going to build up the places, these ghettos, these ghettos, these dry places, these places where you got churches in these suburbs and everybody just going to go. All this dryness, these roads is dry and desert and deserted, blinded. So this is very important. Why you need your spiritual eyes, and this is why. See, this is why the devil wants you to be closed. He want to keep you blinded from this. He don't care you walking around. He don't care if you're physically blind. You're walking around running into walls. He don't care about that. He don't want you to open up your spiritual eyes. Now this man is blind. He's blind as a bat. A way of putting it. Not trying to insult him. I'm just saying he's blind as a bat. Now this man blind, but yeah, he opened up his spiritual eyes first. Now he let him see that the spiritual eyes it came first from man. It came first, and it is number one. It's more important. Now, this is why the devil's fighting against it, because you know what happens when you start going to these places that's dry. You go to your neighborhoods. Now, where they say, well, God gonna plant you. These are places where God planting people. So that means that God plants you in your neighborhood, God plants you at your job, God plants you in a certain place. Some people he gonna plant in another place. He gonna take you from Utah, send you to San Diego. Some people he gonna move around. Some people he gonna take you from one part to another part of the nation. Some people he gonna keep moving around. But as they going forth, this is what they supposed to be administrating. We talked about this before. They supposed to be ambassadors. They supposed to be setting up embassies, pretty much law enforcement places. You would say like police stations. They supposed to have one on every corner, not a cell phone company on every corner. So you can get it. You know they got a cell phone company on every street. Why? Because that's idols. You serving idols. These are idols. These things supposed to be meant for communication. They didn't add all kinds of stuff to people driving, killing themselves. Oh, people in the store, they carry this thing around, they ain't carrying Jesus. Yeah, of course you're going to have an idol store on every corner. You're going to have a idol shop. You know, if you go back and you study the history of how they did things, you know, they had an idol shop everywhere. They had idol distribution centers where they built nothing but these Diana idols. That's why they was mad at Paul. Because he went down there and got rid of that Diana stuff. People started throwing it in the trash. So they said, oh, hold on. Listen, it's going to hurt our money. See, all the cell phone companies started shutting down. They're going to hurt our money. We got to do something about him. I'm telling you the same thing. You notice that they got them on every corner. You notice they got the corner store on every corner, so you go get beer, cigarettes, and everything else addiction. Then they also got it where you can go here and get gas all the time, so it looks convenient. But you can go out and be so quick to do sin, and go out and be so quick to do things. Yeah, they got everything available to you. Hey, man, I'm trying to fight smoking, but I'm just a block away from the cigarette factory. You know, blocked away. They got nothing but cigarettes there. Yeah, I'm sure. Ain't no long journey for you. I'm sure you're going to end up waking up in the middle of the night going down there. If you got to walk down there, you go. Of course, they're going to have all these things set up for you this way. That's what, of course. You're supposed to have, just like they have that, we're supposed to have children of God on every place, using their spiritual authority in these places, knocking down these strongholds of demons. All this supposed to be going out the neighborhoods. You notice that once the demons leave, then you know what? Once the demons come out the place, the people just start to open their eyes up. You know, look at Jesus. When Jesus healed the man had the demon full of legions. They said this man, this man was possessed by these demons, he wasn't even in his right mind. He cutting himself and all this other stuff. And what I tell people when they find themselves doing that, you find people in these situations, they depressed them, they cutting on themselves. See, that's a demon. That's a person who's dealing with multiple demons. They're all possessing this person, and they didn't got what you call possession. See, it got what you call possession, where they have this person that probably up the drugs up to their eyeballs, Because most people that's like that usually in the drugs up to their eyeballs, or some things that happen. They done let these demons actually in possession of them. And the demon cutting all on their bodies and doing all kind of things to them. You also have people who was doing this for rituals. People would take blood and doing rituals. They cutting chickens. When they don't use chicken, they use their own blood. They do these things. They cut themselves. That's why the people are trying to call Baal. They cutting their own self, trying to conjure up spirits. But he ain't coming, because he ain't gonna come when God there. He definitely ain't gonna show up. If any time he ain't gonna show up, that's gonna be the time. He ain't gonna show up and God there. Demons ain't crazy. They're afraid of God. You see the way they drop down to Jesus? They're afraid. They're not gonna show up. They don't want to be there when Jesus is there. Hey, what you doing here, Jesus? I'm gone. They ready to go. People are the ones that don't fear him the way they supposed to fear him. Now, this is why this is so important here. This is very important here, because here you have, I want you to see, this is very important here, because here you have, they're going to build up these places, meaning that they're going to put these places around every neighborhood, every place, every corner store. Like they got corner stores and these things. You're supposed to have a believer everywhere, administrating the glory of God. The glory of God working through them. They're supposed to set up this society. People are supposed to come to us when they got an issue. So therefore, when they come to us, they come to Jesus through us. And then they start to see the righteous acts that is going on. They see the miracles, the signs. And then they're going to say, you know what? We're coming to you. Now you see the man Legion, like I'm saying, get back to Legion, because I don't want to get off there too much. Get back to Legion. You see how when Jesus got rid of the demons, the man came back to his right mind. He was fine. He was 100% fine. He got his mind back. He was fine. But you see, his eyes was even open. Hey, I want to follow you. See, his eyes open. Eyes open. But see, if you keep them demons there in that place, then you know what? They're not just going to take advantage of that man. They're going to take advantage of everybody. But I want to show you something. You notice that man was possessed because he came from that place. He came from that island, a little village. Same thing. He came from that island, that village. Now I want you to see something why he's possessed. You notice that soon when Jesus got the demons out, the man said, I follow you, Jesus. The people in that town said, oh, they went and got their council members, their leaders, their mayors, their governors, whoever. They went and got all these people, and they said, we want you gone from here. We know you're the Son of God. We've seen the power of you. But listen, we don't want you. You see, they Gergesites spirits, clay dwellers. That's why Jesus put them in the pigs. Pigs don't look up to heaven. They don't acknowledge the God. See, they don't want Jesus. They can know, oh, it's Jesus, but we don't want you here. We like walloping our filth. So we don't need you. They're spiritually blinded. And they know they are, and they don't care. That's like you see the movie The Matrix. You know, the guy come out the Matrix, and he tell the guy he come out the Matrix, then he want to go back. He tell me, I don't want to remember anything about the Matrix. See, send me back. I know the truth, but I don't want to know it. I want to forget that I knew any part of the truth. Put me in total darkness. And that's how these people are. They know, oh, it's some light here. They know what the truth. I don't want it. See, they want to be spiritually blind because they want to wallow and they feel like pigs. Wallop in it. Now, we see here that the devil's fighting so hard at the gate because he do not want you to build up the old waste places that's waste, desert, deserted. He do not want you to be planted there to fix these places. Then it say you shall raise up. See, he don't want you to, no. See, raise up the things that are the former. But he don't want you to raise up things the way, he do not want you to bring things back to restoration, the way God had it intended in the beginning. He don't want you to do that. He like things being where they are now. So he like you being nice and docile. He like for you to be caged and enchained and thinking that you ain't in chains. Tell people in a minute, you can sit there and if you can take advantage of a person's mind, if you control a person's mind, you don't even need no physical chains. They're already in bondage. And this is what he likes to do. Also, it said, you shall repair the waste cities. You shall repair these places. And mean not just places, people. See, these are people. These are groups of people. You know, groups of people get together, make a city. City don't make itself. These are people. Also, it said the desolation of many generations. How many generations been destroyed? Generation after generation being destroyed, going to hell. They can be stopped. So, okay, he don't want you to do this. Nowhere in the world he wants this to happen. But this man seen this. This man seen, the first thing he seen was he seen this with his spiritual eyes. He seen this scripture I'm reading right now. And he don't even know what he's seeing. That's why I see trees look like they're walking. See, he's seeing this and don't even know what he's seeing. Then it says this. Let's go further. It say, then Jesus lay his hands on his eyes again, and he opened his eyes. His sight was restored. Now he can see. Now he can see all the way around. He can physically see, spiritually see. Now watch what Jesus tell him when he can see this. It said, and he saw everything clearly, not just physically, but spiritually. Now, how can this man be? Can he be blind again? Can he be healed and be blind again? Of course he can. Now, his eyes working, physical eyes. Can he be blind again? But can his spiritual eyes be closed again? Of course they can. See, they can, because all you have to do is eat the fruit again. If you eat the fruit again, you'll go back spiritually blinded again. It's just that simple. Now, this man here can see in the spirit and in the flesh. So he's good. I mean, he can see physically out his eyes. And spiritually, he can see the things of God. Now, what can change that? Is it a possibility that he can go back being the same way? Let's find out. Now, Jesus said this to him after that. The man said he could see everything clear. It says this, and he sent him to his home, saying, do not ever enter the village. Do not go back to that village. See, why? Because that village is that tree where he was eating on. That village was the fruit. They're the reason that he been blind all them years. He born into that place. See, some of us, we in these churches, see, it's the reason why Sister Jenkins blind in the church, and she's blind in there, and when her kids come out, they all blind in the place. Their spiritual eyes are closed. They've been caught by the Amalkites. Then Jesus told them, listen, do not ever enter the village. Don't come back here ever again. Because if you do, you're going to be blind again. Because those people in that village are so full of so much stuff that that's the fruit. Now they're begging him. These are people, some of them begging him to touch the man, when Jesus telling the man, don't touch them. Don't touch that fruit. See, your eyes are open. You've been back. You've been restored. You've been restored. You coming back now to what you used to be, what God had you intended. You can see clearly now. Go home, but and he sent him to his home. But do not ever enter that village. Do not go back to that parasite, Hivite spirit. Don't go back to none of that. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. Now you see how this works? This is why this is so important. This is why this is so important to people. This is why this is so important to people. That that they really need to get this. You see, because when they don't understand this, it becomes a problem for them. You see, they don't understand their spiritual eyes ain't open, and if they open, they going back to the same thing. See, the devil, he couldn't. You notice the devil couldn't stop this man from getting his eyes open, but he can now try to pull him back to the village. See, all of a sudden, Jesus said, "Don't go back to that village," but the devil trying to pull him back. See, now can I pull him back in the next 10, 20, 30 years? See, I could try to get him back into the village. Why? Because if I don't get him back to the village, he's going to do something that he ain't got no choice. See, for some reason, since he knows the truth, it's going to be so deep in him, He can't help himself. Then he's going to go exactly. You notice that Jesus told him, go back to your home. That's where he want him to be planted at that point. Go back to your home and do not enter this village ever again. Don't ever come back here. Don't go back to, see, that's what I'm trying to tell people. People get stuck in the denominations. They get stuck in this way of doing things. They're what you call, Jesus showed you in here, people that's born blind. So they've been born blind. So how a person been born blind since his mother's womb? He been born blind since his mother's womb because you know what? If she was blind and she was in this falsehood, then they come up in this falsehood. Since they were small coming up, since they can remember, they've been stuck in this. They've been stuck in these things. And so I wanted you to see that there, how this happened to people. Now, let's go. I want you to go one more thing. I'm going to go to a couple more things I want you to see here now. Now, what we're going to do is go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis chapter 27. Let me make sure it's the right one. Yeah, Genesis chapter 27. Oh, not 27, I'm sorry. 25. Sorry about that. Because I got a lot of scriptures in this series to go through. So, okay, I'm going to have to eventually go to 27. But Genesis chapter 25, verse 29. Now, let me show you something. What happens to people sometimes when they do this here. But yeah, I'm going to go to verse 27. Let's go all the way to 27. Let's go to, okay, Genesis 25, verse 27. Because, you know, it's best to probably just let you see this as well. Now, it says, when the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter. Hunter means he was a mighty person, you know. He was a mighty person. Also, hunter can mean somebody who was a conqueror or someone who's against God. Like Nimrod was a mighty hunter, you know, which can mean he was a person that was trying to go against God, an enemy. But it said Esau was a skilled hunter, a man of the field. Now, what that tells you, man of the field, that word field translation is earth. Anytime you hear field, land, all that come down to Adama, which means earth. You see? So you got all that comes down to land, earth, dirt, all that. King James just translated, you know, just like a lot of other translations, they just translated in English translation, they translated the same word they took for it. They just using different ways they're using it. But it's all one meaning. It's going to be Adama. Means going to be earth, land, field, this here. So it said Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field. That means that he was a man of the what? Earth. Now, what was Cain? Cain was a man of the same thing, a man of the soil. Remember, he loved things of the earth. He loved the plant stuff of the earth. He loved to feed on it. He even loved it so much he thought God would love it. So he bring this kind of stuff to God. He brings this stuff, you know, and so, you know, he bring this kind of stuff to God. Here you go. God don't want that. That's evil. Why would God want you to bring him, you know, God don't want you to bring him idolatry, you know, heresies, you know, adulteries, adultery, lying, stealing, killing. He don't want you to bring this to him. Violence, competition, competing, envy, strife. He don't want you to bring that to him. That's fruit of the earth. You see, and there's some people they can see, a lot of people they can thrive in this. They can thrive. See, he was a mighty hunter in this. He was able to thrive in these nasty, filthy things. He was able to compete. He was one of the top guys. When everybody know Esau, see, he compete. He's one of those guys willing to steal, willing to kill. That's all part of the survival. See, when a person in a hunt, I want to tell you one thing about a hunter. When a person hunts so long, they get bored. They start hunting other things. Then they start want to hunt stuff that hunt them back. See, then it become a thing about survival. And then their mind state is all about survival. Can I survive this? Only the strong survive. They start looking at themselves in beast mentalities. Only the strong can survive. See, a hunter gonna take it. You're gonna be prey. See, that's their whole philosophy. See, he can survive in all this filth because he just got to be stronger than it. He was a mighty hunter. He was stronger than it. He loved the field. So he loved the flesh. Let's go a little further. You love the flesh. Then say when Jacob was a quiet man living in a tent. Quiet man. Now we know what quiet means. We know what it means. Quiet also means submissive or meekness or submissive. So he was a guess what God wants us to do. He actually wants us to talk less and listen more. That's why God always told, Ezekiel, I'm gonna put your tongue to the roof of your mouth. So therefore you can't speak. And you speak only when I tell you to. That's why the perfect praise comes from infants. Why do the perfect praise come from infants? That's a question that we should ask. Why do the perfect praise come from infants? Now you translate that word to Greek. What then you say, what is an infant? An infant is someone who at an age that they can't speak. That means someone that can't speak. They can't talk. We know that's what a baby is. A baby is an infant. It can't talk. It can't, it can make noise and cry out, but it can't talk. It can cry out, it can pray, but it can't speak. So that's what God wants us to do. The perfect praise came for infants because you know why? An infant is dependent on its parent for everything. Not some things, but everything. So that's why Jesus told the man, you did 6 commandments. You did 6 commandments. God created the world in 6 days. The 7th day is the day of rest. That means to come into God rest means to come in and let God take care of you. Everything that you do, he wanted to be involved to take care of you. You just rest. And he got it. You ain't got to feed yourself. He going to feed you. You ain't got to worry about how to pay you. He going to do it. See, coming into the rest of God. So Jesus told him this. Okay, he gave him 6 commandments, which represent 6 days. When he gets to the 7th one, he told him to give everything you have. Give up all your riches. Give everything that you acquire. Give everything you think you got to acquire. Give it all up and follow me because I'm going to give you the rest. I'm going to show you how to survive. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to give you water. I'm going to rock you. I'm going to speak for you. I'm going to do all this. The man said, I can't do it. I can't do it. And that's what most of us doing. See, we saying, I don't need to pray for that. I can take care of myself. Well, you know what? You ain't no infant. You ain't no infant. Quit lying to yourself. You're spiritually blinded. In the store. You're spiritually blinded. Of course, you can take care of your own self. Well, you don't need no parent, do you? Of course not. You don't need God then. You can do it yourself. Oh, but I need God for other things. No. See, the perfect praise comes from an infant, someone who, you know what? I ain't got to feed myself. Let God do it. I ain't got to do none of these things. Let God do it. Let God speak for me. So God can take over you, possess you. And then, you know what? He can go out and get perfect glory because he's in control. This is what Jesus was, an infant. He was an infant. See, that's how the stages of God works. You start out as a child. You know that you got to be a child, not an infant. You start off as a child. Because, see, you start off as a child because what? Why a child first? Because the child is going to listen. When you go to a child that age, they're going to listen. You ever see children that's in the God of young ages? They say things and they believe things you wouldn't believe. And they will fight. Oh, no, it's going to happen. God's going to do it. God, I don't care. And you know what? That's what a child does. It believes something all the way to the fullest. And it don't care even if somebody died. I don't care. Jesus is going to bring grandma back because he's going to do it. He said they're going to, even though when it's all said, they're not going to want to believe it. So people start off as a child in that kind of humbleness. But it was supposed to, you're going to go as you're not going to get older like that. Like physically, we get older, and us get older mean we require more knowledge. With God, we require more knowledge. We get younger. So we go from being 5 to we start off at 5, then we start going to 4, to 3, to 2, to 1, to infant stage. You go backwards. You go to infant stage. See, the way we do it, the older you get, the smarter you get. But to God, the smarter you get, the older you get, really, the more rebellious you get. The more knowledge you're getting to be, self-sufficient on your own. The older you get, you see all this stuff you're taking in, the more you receive. And see, the worse you're getting to him. But going backwards is the right way. we do things in reverse. You see, that is not of God. Because people doing that because they're spiritually blinded. The devil have took advantage of people. That's why you sit up here think you're a believer. Oh, I believe, but you know what? I still do this on my own. I just put Jesus in certain parts of my life. I'm totally dependent on God, but you got idol pictures up. I'm totally dependent on God, but the truth is, soon as something happens, you run back to Egypt. Soon I ain't got enough money. I gotta get a second job. So I ain't got enough this. I gotta go do that. Oh, I gotta go do. You gotta keep running back to Egypt system. Every time there's a problem, you run back to Egypt system. I know I'm sick. I'm gonna recover, but you know what? I ain't recovering fast enough. I can get a Z-Pack and be done in a week. This ain't just hit me so fast. So let me go back to Egypt real fast. Let me go back real quick. Now, Esau was this kind of a person. Esau was so deep into it and being a man of the field, to the point is another way of saying that the earth itself was implanted in him. So the seed of the field was planted in Esau. Now look at this. Say Jacob was a quiet man living in a tent. Now living in a tent, living in a temple, living in a well, living in a tabernacle. Now notice it says this here. It says Isaac says this. It say Isaac loved Esau because he was fond of gain, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So here we have Isaac, who, even though he know his son is, to be honest with you, not in the things of God, he loved the things of the field. So why is Isaac liking him more than Esau? Because Isaac is, Jacob is that guy that sit down there with mama baking cookies. He will people, I'm going to be honest with this, blunt out. He will people will say he's sissified. He's a sissy boy. You hang around with your mama all the time baking cakes and cookies. Go out here and play sports. Go out here and be a man. What you doing? We out here hunting. Come on with us. Oh, you want to cry. You scared to kill an animal. You're a sissy. Go home with your mama. Go cry. Go knit or something. No man in the flesh want no son like this. He's a disgrace to a man in the flesh. Who want a son like that? Just go ahead and put a dress on them, twist all over the place. No man want no son like this. So this is why Isaac did not like this. It's like any man that's still in the flesh will not like this. Don't want no boy like this. Boy don't play sport. This boy, he want to run around with mama or play with dolls. Well, what is this? Cooking easy bake ovens for Christmas or something. He giving. See, this no man in the flesh gonna want no boy like this. So this shows you what Isaac was. This shows you what walk Isaac was in. Now, see, God actually liked Esau. I mean, not Esau, Jacob. Actually, he liked his meekness. That he did not want to be in competition. He didn't want to do all those things that what the majority did. He actually liked it that. That don't mean that I don't want to take this the wrong way. Don't let the Leviathan make you twist this up what I'm saying, and you start trying to glorify you because you this way, and you want to start glorifying why you wearing dresses. That is not what I'm saying here. Okay? What I'm saying is that God liked his meekness, his humbleness, and he liked the fact that he wasn't out killing things and was not a person who was of the earth, and he was not trying to prove anything. This is what I'm saying. God liked it about him. It was not that. So don't people hearing that, that's the devil twisting your head up. Because it is a thing we went through called Leviathan. That means that someone can say something, the devil can take it and twist it. So all of a sudden they start running around here saying, hey, Brother Jones saying it's fine for us to be gay. No. Oh, we can wear dresses. God like that. No, he don't. It's abomination, and not just stone a person. He would have that set. He would have people set on fire for this. So no, that's not a good thing. Now, if you is in that walk and you want to come and get it over with, if you want to finally make your decision to say I don't want it, Jesus would take that right now. We can do this right here, right now. Jesus take it right now. What you want to do? So don't cry about it. You can't change nothing because that's the answer right here, right now. You don't need no more therapy. You don't need no more hiding in the closets and worry about what mama say. You don't need no more of them devils playing with your mind. You don't need no more of them airish demons twisting your head one way or another. You can get rid of it right here, right now. What do you want to do? So that's what it's going to come down to. So when you find yourself in hell, you're going to know you had a chance. Jesus is the answer. What do you want to do? You see, you don't want to be sick no more? Jesus right here. What you want to do? You want to keep playing with cancer, or you want to do something about it? See, that's all it is. People got to stop, get out this babying. You see, no. This is the answer. Either you're going to believe or you ain't. Because you're going to have to understand it's a serious offense not to believe in God. It is serious not to believe in God and what God offers. That is more of that. Listen, that's more a crime punishable than anything. So people think that they can go and not do a couple commandments. Like the guy, he thought he was fine. I cannot steal, not kill. But see, when it comes down to believing in God for everything, he couldn't do it. Now, why that's such a great crime? Because you know what that means? He's not going to enter into God's rest. And what happened to the children of Israel? They did not enter into the rest of God. That's not a good thing. That means that this much. When you are born, it's two things in your life, decisions you're going to make. Where you going to go is where you going to go. See, where are you going to go? You need to make that decision. Where I'm going to go. One thing you're going to do, most people are going to get married. And where you going to go? So those decisions, who you going to marry? You ain't got no choice. Who you going to marry? Some people say, well, I don't want a wife. You're going to have to marry Jesus. Make his mind up. Jesus or the devil, who you marrying? Which one you taking? You ain't got no choice. And you're going to have to find a place to rest. You must. If you don't find a place to rest, they're going to give you one. You'll get the alternative. It's like saying, well, guess what? If you don't pay your rent, you don't believe in paying rent nowhere, where you going to live? Then you're going to end up on the street. Well, in this situation, this is going to happen even more so. If you ain't got a place to rest, they're going to give you one. It's just what it is. So if you ain't resting with God, where you going to go? So people don't want to come into God rest. See, they don't want to go to the infant stage. They don't want to come into the rest of God. But the truth is, you're going to have to come into the rest. Where you going to go? So you can say, I went to the mountain. I went up to the mountain to the 6th level. When I got to the 7th, he said, okay, rely on me. Well, that's the level they turn around. That's what Church Israel kept doing. Oh man, we don't want this bread. We need something else. We don't want to rely on this. What water at? We need water a couple of days. Well, what we gonna do? See, they didn't want to rely on God. They don't want to rely on him. And there's some people out here this day, the same thing. They don't want to rely on God. And especially if you're a mighty hunter. You're a hunter like Esau. Why would I want to rely on God? I know how to get game. I know how to get animals. I know how to eat. I know how to take care of myself. I know how to get water. I know how to do this. I got more and plenty enough. Like the rich man, I got all this money. I got everything you need. Why I need to rely on God to do that? Well, you can't be no infant, can you? See, that's why it's so hard. The older a person gets, the harder it is to go back to being an infant. Can't go back. You know how hard it is to try to go back and be a child? Yeah, I remember when we was a kid, they used to have this song, I don't want to grow up, I want to be a child as a kid. You know? You know how, that's how most people is. When you get grown, they start seeing the pressure thing, what they want to do normally. Everybody know we've been here. I don't care if you're older and you figure, well, I've been there. You've been here. We all have been there. We all got to a point of age and say, man, boy, it was better when we was kids. We had somebody taking care of us. We all been there. We all been to that place. So God is offering this place. But people don't want it. See, it's going to be hard for people to come in like that. So this is what Esau's issue is. See, he got so many abilities and talents. He got so many things he's good at. He's able to thrive in this world and thrive in this wickedness. He's able to thrive in this society that's filled with all kind of things. He's able to make it without God. So if he's able to make it without God, then he's not going to rely on God. Now, let's be honest. This is why Jacob, this is why Isaac liked him more. You see, and not just liked him more, he liked him so much to the point that he was blinded because he was going to give him the blessing of God. Now, why should he give him the blessing of God? He don't deserve the blessing of God. He don't even want it. He don't deserve it. He don't deserve anything when it comes to what do you need it for? He can do it on his own, right? You can do all this on your own. You can go and make all your own money. You can do great things on your own. What you need him for? What you need the blessing for? What you need the Spirit of God to come upon you? What you need is you can do it all. You can run to the best head shrinker in town. You got the best physicians in town. You don't need what you need God for. Oh, oh, you didn't went there and met your match. You see, you done found out, you done went there and found out that the doctors can't do nothing. Now you're looking at Jesus now. See, you notice they said that woman went out, she went everywhere. She went to every place, every physician. She ran out of people to go to. She go there, she's looking for Jesus. That's how some of us is. Some of us, we come in there because we done went everywhere else. Jesus say, seek the kingdom first. See, if people don't know that, then they're not held accountable. But for people who are believers, who's seeking all these other means, and then they come to him. See, you're supposed to know to seek him first. Either he gonna do it or he ain't gonna do it. Now let's just go through this, because see, Isaac's so blind, he's finna give him the things of God. Let's see how Esau really care about God. Now they say once when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came in from the field, meaning from the earth. Okay? And he was famished. Esau, or you can say starving in some translation. Esau said to Jacob, let me eat some of the red stuff, for I am famished. Therefore he was called Edom, because of red. That's what that is. Jacob said, first, sell me your birthright. Now, that's interesting. Sell me your inheritance, your birthright. See, sell me your birthright. Esau said, I am about to die. Now, why is he about to die? Because, you know what, people do that all the time. They get like that. If they don't eat, I remember having friends like that. Oh, man, listen, I got to eat something. It's like, man, you ain't going to die. You're just going half the day. Oh, man, I got to eat something, man. I've seen women like that. They act like if they don't have this, if I don't eat now, they whole mood different, I'm just going to die here. I'm starving here. It's like, listen, when you at about 2 or 3 days, then you tell me something. But crying over a whole day, and then they let the people, oh man, my sugar gonna drop. I gotta eat something, my sugar gonna drop. Oh, okay. But we don't want your sugar to drop on you. Of course not. You just happen to be in your 20s, running around worried about sugar dropping every time you don't eat in 3 or 4 hours. Instead of going to Jesus and saying, I don't want to be this way. I don't want to have to be a person that I can't eat. If I go without this, I may die. I need Jesus. But see, no, that's okay. We'll just try the alternative, because that means I can keep doing the other filthiest stuff I'm doing, and I just keep the alternative. I don't have to have nobody controlling me. That's called pride. That's what that is. That's pride. I hope people understand it. That's what pride is. People think they don't have pride. If you think you ain't got pride and you're doing these things, you're spiritually blinded. That means the Amalkites, the devil, the king of the Amalkites, the fiery one, guess what? He set fire to you. And you still burning right now. Don't know you're on fire. Chains are wrapped all around you. You haven't came out yet. Meaning that Jesus opened you up and got you born again. And what happened? You turned around and went back to the village, or never came out of the village. So he say, sell his birthright. So he's selling his birthright over some stew. Now, of course, we know what that means. We know what the stew means. We know what that means anyway. We go back and forth to it. We know what it means at the end anyway. And this was a certain, not just this. It was a lentil, if I'm pronouncing it right, lentil stew. It was this kind of a stew, and actually I've seen how these things grow. They grow in like pods, like peas. They grow in these pods, and it's like 2 of them. It's like 2 at a time. You get 2 of them, that comes out at a time. Now both of them represent 2 different things: spirit and flesh. It's always when it's 2. You got spirit and flesh. And if it ain't gonna be that, it depends on what it's referenced to, because it can be the Holy Spirit to enter upon. But in this situation, that's not what that is. That's 2 different knowledges. That's what you're gonna find all over the Word. You got either you can take the knowledge from up above or the knowledge from below. And the knowledge up above comes from heaven, and it rules over everything. The one comes from the world, don't. It's just set for destruction, to be a slave or in destruction. That's all it is. Now Esau, on the other hand, he eating his soup, He's obsessed with it. I mean, I got to eat it. If I don't eat it, I'm gonna die. See, if I don't have I don't have this sin because he just came from the field. Why you ain't stopped by and get something? If you was in the field, he's a hunter. You know, he brought some meat back, but still, you a hunter. You couldn't get no corn nowhere. You mean something? You got 2 wives and all this. You ain't got nothing in the house. But see, I need this. I'm starving. I gotta have it. I'll just die. And some of us like that too. If I don't have sex in a day or two, I'm shaking and sweating. You know, if I don't have this drink, I remember I challenged someone this one day, a man that drank a lot. I challenged him, how long ago without a drink? Oh, I can do it. Man, please. He went the first day, I ain't drinking. Went the second day, I ain't drinking. All of a sudden, the third day, he was drinking more than he's drunk before, making up for it. Some of us can't go like this. I remember I met a guy one time. We were talking about how perverted and sex obsessed he was. He was dealing in pornography and everything else. And he said, man, I gotta have sex. I said, is it that bad for you? He said, listen, if I don't have it in a day or two, I start shaking and sweating. I said, oh man, you possessed. See, there's some demonic things going on there. You done let that Canaanite spirit take advantage of you. You see, if he don't get it, I don't get it, man. It messed my mood up. You know, I gotta have it. So you didn't program yourself that you don't get it in a day or two. You gonna have a problem. It's gonna alter your personality. It's gonna make you more mean or aggressive or moody. That's what the Canaanite spirit does. It's aggressive, and it does that. Think about it now. He have that problem. I've seen people. How many people out here, if they don't get coffee in the morning? I work with people like this. They don't get coffee in the morning. Oh my God, my whole day ruined. Their whole day is based not on Jesus but on coffee. They went to work, and some of the people, these believers too, people that supposed to believe, went to work. Oh, if I don't get my coffee, man, if I don't get it, my whole day is ruined. Like, where the coffee? Everybody coming in, where the coffee? Where the coffee? Where the coffee? I mean, coffee like crack, ain't it? I don't get my coffee. And you'll see them too acting all crazy. And they don't want no substitute. Somebody said, take a Red Bull, take something else. No, man, I gotta have my coffee. You know what? Listen, boss, I left something at home. Can I go home? I gotta go to the corner store get some coffee. See, that's what they really gotta go do. Gotta chase that coffee now. They're obsessed with this coffee. Don't worry about Jesus in the morning, but worry about this coffee. Because Jesus, you don't look at him and say, you know what, I can actually speak my day in Jesus' name. No, I want the coffee. See, the coffee is this little coffee, something that we put in, we grow. I gave it so much power to the point it controlled my days and my moods and my attitude. And if I'm going to rise or fall in that day, if I'm going to be in excellent spirit, if I'm going to be on point and focus, all this is riding on if I don't have this coffee. People the same way. If I don't have this weed or this drug, then how am I supposed to do it? If I don't have this Adderall, I've been around these people before, if they don't have their Adderall. If I ain't got my Adderall, I can't focus. I need my Adderall. You're a junkie. You are a junkie. If you don't think you're a junkie, you already been blinded. And you got to have to come to the point of understanding you are a junkie. Let Jesus set your focus. Let Jesus show you how to focus. The right way of focus on the right things. You just started out as a kid, having behavior problems, really don't want to listen, because you know what? I've been around the same people that say they can't focus. And you know what? When they don't have it, it's not about that. It's about they are addicted. And you sit there and see them walk around, they can focus on whatever they want when it's what they want. But when it's something that they don't want, I can't work without it. Why you can't work without it? You just sit there and paint a whole house without it, but you can't go work without it. You just sit there and went out. You done planned your whole day out. You done say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You plan everything out, went and did everything to the letter. But you can't do that. That's a lie. And that's a lie, and that's made up to go run back and take them pills. And that's what that's what the Philistine been doing to you. Oh, you can't focus? Well, we can't fix that. So we're going to give you a drug to get you addicted. So when you're 12, you get addicted. When you get 18, 19, you're going to be even more addicted. And you're going to, you know what? You're going to think you cannot live without this pill. And you'll keep coming back to the psychologist. The Philistine. And that Philistine will have power over you. tell a person before. One thing you got to look at something. One of the things about a Philistine always wants to know your secrets. They always want to know your secrets. You say you want Samson's secret. Samson, what give you your strength? Well, Samson, who are you? What makes you the way you are? Show me your strength. What give it to you? Let me know your secret. Something you ain't told nobody. Let me know your secret. And you know what Samson did? Samson told her this, and this is why you got to get this revelation. Samson went back to his childhood. See, ever since I was a little child, I was a Nazarite. So I never drank alcohol. I stayed away from a rave. He told her his childhood. That's what the psychologists do. Oh, tell me about your childhood. Let me know your secrets. They Philistines. It's their whole logic is. And then they turn around and use that to turn around to use it against you, to get you in their traps, to get you on them pills, to get you on these things. That's what they do it for. The same thing they were doing back then. You see, we have to pay attention to these things. You got to let Jesus open up your eyes and don't go back to the village. Now, we see Esau here. He sold his birthright. For what? For some stew. For some things of the flesh. Now, what happened to the children of Israel? The children of Israel did the same exact thing. They sold their inheritance. They sold everything they had. They died out in the wilderness because they wanted to go back to the flesh pots. See, they want to go back to the flesh desires. They went built. You know what was in their heart? The first chance they got when God turned his back for a minute, they thought he turned his back for a minute because Moses, they were looking at him as God. When God turned his back for Moses went up there, they said, where he at? Listen, it's like kids do. What kids do when you know how it is when you get a substitute teacher or the teacher gone out the room. Soon the teacher leave the room and like, oh, she gone by 15, 20. We finna act crazy in here. We got a substitute teacher. You ain't the real teacher. We finna act crazy in here. The same thing they did. Soon, when the parent was gone, party time. The first thing they went party with was the Canaanite spirit. They built a calf. That's what this creature is, bull creature, bull man creature. I done seen this thing multiple times. It's a bull man creature. And you know what? They went and built a calf in his image. They went and built this calf, went and built his image. They started partying, doing orgies, dancing provocatively, and all over this thing. The first chance they got. Now, where they comes from, that's something that's in their heart because they come from the field. They still want the field. Pharaoh had them out there working in the field. So they still want the field. They've been blinded by the Amalekite. And see how he do it is what's so good. See, he already blinded Esau. Esau already blind. He a man of the field. That means the devil already got him. You know, God told Cain, he said, listen, he told him, beware of sin. He said, its desire is for you. It wants to control you. It wants to get in, and then it wants to control you. He told Cain this when Cain was out there playing in the field all the time. You see? And so, see, this is how you notice that. Now you notice that. How was Cain able to kill Abel? See, that's the question. How was Cain able to kill Abel? That's the question. How was Cain able to kill Abel? See, that's the question that goes off and should go off people's mind. How was he able to kill Abel? I mean, here's Abel. He's a shepherd of God. He giving God Jesus the sacrifice, the first lamb, the firstborn. He giving it to Jesus. How could he get Cain? Can't get him. And you know, ain't nobody in their right mind gonna stand still while a man pick up a brick and try to hit you in your head anyway. You know, I don't know how many people gonna be in that short line, but most people gonna be in that long line. That when they see him coming at them with something, they gonna try to do something. They not gonna just let him do it. See, Cain is crying out for revenge. Get him. I want revenge for him. I want my blood revenge. Well, it say Jesus cried out better things. His blood cried out better things. That means that Jesus' blood was saying more righteous things than Cain. I mean, than Abel was. So how is that possible? Now, Abel's blood was screaming out for revenge, when Jesus' blood was screaming out forgiveness. So, so it's something different about Jesus than Abel. And the question is, why is Abel? What is in Abel that he won't revenge? He full of anger and won't revenge. Why is that? Well, you go to what the story says. It say one day when they was in the field. One day they was in the field. Cain rose up. Okay. Well, how can Cain rise higher than Abel? What was Abel doing in that field? Now I'll leave you with that. I'll leave you with that. And you take that to Jesus and let him tell you the rest of it. But my point is, that's what you got to ask yourself. How can Cain rise up higher than Abel? You got to ask yourself that. But the question is, this is the thing that I want you to see, is that how is it that, Esau, you are the firstborn and inheritance that comes from Abraham, and you don't even care. You just say, listen, I don't care. It don't mean nothing to me. I would have temporary food that's gonna perish. This is why Jesus said that, because he's talking about Esau. Listen, don't be working for the food that perish. See, don't work. Working is another way of meaning believing. Remember, they told Jesus. They said, well, Jesus told them. He said, well, about doing the works. He said, he that believe in me, that the Father sent me, that's the work. Oh, so work is belief. So work not. So don't believe in food that's gonna perish. Don't believe in things of the flesh. Why? Because see, this is how this works. I did this real quick, and then 5 minutes later, I got high, and then I gotta get high again, and then I gotta get high again. See, I gotta keep. It won't last. It keep perishing. I gotta keep going. Oh, every 2 days I gotta have this sexual desire I need, because if I don't have it every day, see, it's gonna fade, and I'm gonna have to do it all over again. I'm gonna keep doing the same. See, that's the whole thing. I gotta keep doing the same thing. I gotta keep doing the same. It keep perishing. I gotta keep doing it. It's gonna perish. Don't be sitting up there tilting and working and sweating and toiling, because that's what people doing. They toiling. They're suffering. I gotta get more drugs, man. I don't care with this. I don't care if I went through that. I don't care if I got beat up because I robbed a drug dealer to get the drug. I don't care what it is. I don't care. You know what? I don't care if I disgrace myself. I don't care if I had to pay for sex. I don't care what I had to do. If I had to lower myself, I had to lie for it. I had to tell someone I ain't married. Whatever it is, I got to get it every 2 days. See, don't toil. Don't suffer for it. I got a kid out of wedlock because of this now, and I got child support. See, now you're toiling. You're paying for what? Don't toil and sweat and go through all this work for stuff that's perishing just to get this quick fix. And that's what Esau was. He don't want to go 1 minute. Oh, I'm going to die. I don't have it. And the devil knows this, so he took advantage of him. He took advantage of him because he knew this. He took advantage of him. He took advantage of him smooth and robbed him, and he got robbed out of his inheritance. Don't be like Esau. So, of course, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, actually, Thursday. I was thinking about that tomorrow, Thursday. But I will be on here tomorrow. I may be on here tomorrow and with part 3 of this teaching. I may be on here tomorrow because we had some issues that happened yesterday. So, therefore, we weren't able to do Tuesday. So, I probably will be back on here tomorrow, that's something that I normally don't do. But check anyway tomorrow, and it should be up. If I'm gonna be on here, you'll know by 9 that I'm gonna be on here. You'll see it when you come up on it. You'll see me on here. You'll come up on it, and it'll show you. It'll be part 3 will be tomorrow, so you will know that I'll be on here. And so, what I want you to understand is that these are the things that goes on that we're gonna have to stop to understand, that these spirits have been around. They've been taking advantage of people. People got to wake up to understand: are they blind or not? See, their discernment is off. See, something to turn that volume down. You see, one of the things that the devil like to do, they like to they like to stop your well up. See, they can't have them rivers flowing. You got river, you in the word all the time, meditating on God. That water's flowing. Nothing can hold this water back. It's just pushing and flowing. So they got to try to stop up. They got to put a dam there. They got to put something. They got to put a roadblock there. They got to put something in front of you. They got to stop that water, because if they don't, then you're going to rebuild these places. You're going to expose them. You're going to get them out the places. They're going to start losing ground. They're going to lose. They're going to start losing land. They're losing territory. See, that's what they don't want. So this is why they're going to do what they're going to do. You see, they got to try to do something to get you. And if you're a person that you got secrets, things you do, you think nobody know. Oh, the devil know. God knows, the devil know. So you know what? They're going to take advantage of these people. The younger the better, the older the better. Some people are old and they set in their ways, and that's even worse, because see, young people just do dumb stuff. They're young and do dumb stuff. They play with their lives. They take chances because they so blinded that they don't see ahead of themselves. You see, and then when you look at older people, they've been set in their ways. They got it all figured out. You know, and a lot of them are old and dry. You know, there's old people that's dry. Because people think because a person old, they know some things. You know, sometimes we believe because they so old that they know certain things. Well, sometimes that works, and especially in the world, it works in experience with certain things. If a guy was a mechanic, sometimes you may have a guy that's a mechanic for 50 years, think he know more than a guy that been a mechanic 5 years. Then you got some guys who the best mechanics in the world, only been there for like 6-7 years, and it's a guy that been there for 30 years, they ain't got his own shop. So it just depends. See, it depends. Same thing when it comes to the Word of God. Jesus walked around, he was like 30 years old, knew more than everybody on the planet. But you know what? In their eyes, you're not even 50 years old. How you know Abraham? How can your knowledge surpass Abraham? See, they think that way because they don't understand who Jesus was. They don't understand God. You see, they thinking that they dealing with someone 30 years old in age, and they not understanding they're dealing with the God that created everything, the heavens, the earth. This Spirit of God living in him and upon him. And why Jesus said, you know where I'm from, but you don't know who sent me from. So you don't know where God come from. No one knows. Who know where God come from? We don't know where God come from. God don't even tell you where he come from. We don't know where God come from. We don't know who his genealogy. He has no parents. We don't know nothing. So how? That's why Jesus can say that, because God possessed him. So you don't know where he come from. You guessing where he come from. Oh, he coming from heavens in the sky. See, you guessing. He coming from this place over here. He coming from that place over there. Jesus said, kingdom of heaven is in you now. Is in you. Because wherever God goes, the kingdom goes. You know, wherever the ark went, he went. So wherever he go, the kingdom go. Because he is the kingdom. You see what I mean? So that's what we have to understand. Wherever he go, wherever you go, he going. You see? And why Jesus say, where I am, my servants will be also. You know, just say where I am. See, he can be there, and he can move somewhere else. He can be somewhere else. See, wherever I am, my servants will be with me also. You ever see people walk around, they got a whole entourage with them? You got a whole entourage with them. You know, you see this guy, he got like 100 people with him. You know, it's like everywhere he go, he got these people with him. I don't care where he go, he got all the people with him all the time. Well, where I am, you will be also. You get me? Same thing. So we got to understand and start have better manners to God. We got to start learning how to have better manners to God. We got to start understanding that we invite God in our house and let God do what he wanted in our house. Then how will he return the favor to us in his house? We got to start thinking. We ask God what to drink, what he wants to drink. Hey, what kind of, you know, what would he like to listen to? What kind? Not just you listen to Christian music. No, what's the kind of music, Christian music, God feel that give him the glory and praise that he wants to listen to, not the one that make your ears sound good and tickle you. What he like to listen to, because we all do this. So this is something we do. What you like to listen to, God? What person that you know that you didn't told what to sing, See, what you want to hear. See, that's what we got to go back to, having good table manners. You see, having good manners to God, to be a good, God is you saying, God, you coming in here, you living in me, dwelling in me. Well, I got to have better table manners. You see people come on. How many people right now in your house junky? Your place dirty, ain't the best it can be. But you got a company coming over. So you got some company coming over. Everybody got to clean up the house. Let's make it smell good. Let's do all this here. My car dirty, but I got some people coming over. I'm gonna take over here. Let me go wash my car, do this here, because these people are some people that I want to, whatever, impress. Well, think about it. If Obama the president, some of you, just be honest, because his reputation right now ain't the best in the world, and that's part of his character flaw. Let's not make it a racist thing, but let's just be honest. It's part of his character flaw. He just allowing all kind of things to happen as a leader. But the point is, he ain't the best person maybe to use the example. I'm just using just the president in general. If a person have a president or some celebrity coming to their house, they're gonna make their house more cleaner than they would. They have a couple of relatives coming over, or friends. So you have God Almighty, the Most High God. You have Him in you, and you need to pay conscience to that. And if you can't pay conscious to it, you need to pray and say, God, I pray that you show me to be more conscious to your needs. Because I don't know why I can't. Or what's the problem? What's stopping me? I'm sure the devil's stopping. But the point is, that's why you need to pray about it. You need to start being more conscious to God's needs and what's going on around you. Because think about it. If you let God in your body, your temple, and you let God do the things He want to do, then you know what? I'm sure He gonna let you do the same thing in His place. You see, that's how it works. You give, you shall receive. I know. Sometimes I seen a guy the other day. I felt bad because I seen a guy today and I didn't have no cash on me. I had my bank card, but I already came out the store, so I can I already was going to my truck. And the guy said, "Hey, you got 75 cents." And usually I keep change in my truck, but I didn't have no change in my truck. So I told the guy, well, the guy tried to give me a story about, of course, I know he's trying to catch a bus or something. He was saying, I'm trying to catch a bus over here. I need 75 cents. And so, of course, I didn't have 75 cents. So I ain't got 75 cents. So, you're looking at the next thing. Where you heading or where you going? But make a long story short, the guy pretty much, he was asking for 75 cents. And I was like, well, I don't have 75 cents. I use my bank card. So what can I do? What else can I help the guy with? So when I said that, the guy just kind of just like, oh, okay, and took off. And I'm thinking, well, where would you need, where you need a ride to, because he wanted 75 cents. But what I'm trying to get at is that, even when you know somebody taking advantage of you or trying to take advantage of you, my thing is this, I always pay attention to this. I'm always aware of this, is that what if that person is an angel? You see, I always ask myself this. I go into the store. I have people sometimes in the store, and they stare at me, and you'll talk to these people, and it just you turn around, and they just gone. Like, what this person just went? Or people say certain things to you that they know God, or they know something. They leave you with something, and they take off, and he's like, see, you never know when that homeless person is an angel. You never know. That's why Paul said, you never know when you're attending an angel. And the reason why Paul say this, because I want you to know exactly where he get this from. All through the Bible, you see this happen. Lot had angels come. He didn't know who they was. Remember, Abraham didn't know there was angels. There was angels coming. There was God coming. He thought it was just people coming by. He invited them in, being nice, and then he started to speak. Oh, you got it. See, well, he didn't know that. Lot didn't know that either. They was angels, and it go down to the point where Samson's mother didn't know it was angels either. They didn't know either. See, so it goes down to the point of they always angels popping up like this, coming in people's midst. And you never know if that person is God Himself. I always think that all the time. So that's why I be careful. I be very careful in those situations, aware of those things, aware of what is this person Jesus? You see, what is this person in jail Jesus that I'm talking to? You may get up and walk off, and that guy take off and just disappear, and he never was an inmate. But see, what happens when you don't visit him in jail? Preach in the prison to help people out at the time. What happens if you don't help a homeless guy out there that's sitting out there, and he's been sitting out there, and he an angel? What happens when these things happen, because God is testing you and these things happen. So I always check that. I say, be aware of things. Try to be aware of things, and know who you are. Because one of the tricks the enemy try to take advantage of, he try to put thoughts that ain't yours. I hear people all the time that say they're in bisexuality. I ask them why. They say, because I used to have thoughts. I had dreams about homosexuality. I say, you know how easy it is to make a person have a dream about what you want? I remember going to sleep plenty of times. I'd go to sleep with the TV on. And I was sleeping with the TV on. And I remember one time I went to sleep with the TV on. And then in my dream, it was me and a friend of mine. And he kept saying this in the dream. We were talking. I was saying, man, I was trying to talk to him about normal things. But he kept talking about real estate. And I kept saying, hey, man, so, this is this. Hey, man, he said, Courtney, you know what your problem is? And I say, what? He say, you don't know what real estate is. And I say, what are you talking about? I don't know real estate. Man, I'm serious here. And he kept on, you know what your problem is? You don't know what real estate is. You can be in this place over here. And I said, what in the world? I woke up, and it was a commercial owned by real estate. See, it's just that easy to be laying down sleeping. Someone can whisper something in your ear, can cause you dreams. It's just that simple. Put thoughts into you. Just that simple. I'd have been asleep like that, and had been dreaming about vacuums. Thinking, why am I dreaming about vacuum? Wake up as an commercial about vacuums. See, it's just that easy. You see, I done went to sleep with the Bible playing and dreamed that I'm in the Bible. I done heard it all in, and dreaming all the word in me. I'm okay. You see, it's just that easy for something to keep talking to you, to put it in you like that. And they'll say, well, I had dreams. That ain't your thoughts. That ain't your thoughts. Some gave you that. That's the devil thoughts. That's that Canaanite spirit. That's how you going to get in there. See, he got to sow a seed. Everything got to sow a seed. That's why Jesus say it's the smallest seed. Well, he can't say the smallest seed if it's not more seeds. So therefore, it's all kind of seeds. He said his seed's the smallest because no one wants it. But it grows bigger than everybody else's seed that's in the field. So on the earth is the field. So that means God's seed grows bigger. It's higher and bigger knowledge and higher, more power than everything else. But it's so small because everybody look at it so small. No one wants it. They look at it so tiny, so small. And even the ones who hearing this saying, oh, I want it. Okay, you want it. Then pick up your cross. See, that's how you separate people from. That's how Jesus divide right there. When you bring them to the water, say, okay, you don't want to be on crack no more? Right now, right here. Then they fighting. Oh, I don't know. I'll never smoke crack again. What if I see that taste, that feel? See now, then what happened? They take off. But what? Okay, I give my money up. But see, what happened if this and then what happened? And then I'll be like these people out here that I think I'm better than. And then what happened? What I do then? And then guess what happened? I can't do it. I gotta walk off. So our folks say that, but then eventually you're gonna get down to the whole division thing, because God is gonna divide you. God's gonna put that kind of fire on you. He's gonna put that truth on you. He's gonna take it in the water deep, and you're gonna have to understand that what? If you're a God, you ain't gonna drown. God can put you in the fire. Either your salvation gonna pop back out, your staff gonna come out. You're gonna come out good, or it ain't gonna come out. It's gonna get burnt up. It's just what it is. So I got to tell people, you don't never want to put yourself in a situation where you're dead and you're trying to find out. You say, well, I'm dead now, but I think I did enough. I hear people say all the time, I'm ready if Jesus comes. I'm ready. I'm thinking, okay. If you think you're so ready when Jesus coming, why not going out and do his work right now? Let's go build up these places. Come on. What you waiting on? You in the military. Let's go to war. We in war. Let's do it. Let's take the high places. What are we waiting for? Are you waiting on your pastor to tell you? You waiting on something else? Jesus already told you what this is. What are you waiting on? But you're waiting for him to come. And that's a very dangerous thing, to wait for Jesus to come without doing his work. He told you that when he come back, there's going to be a servant and say, hey, listen, I plant my denary. See, I plant my denary. Because I thought that, when you come back, that's a dangerous thing to do. Or he come back and see that he see that his servant ain't been taking care of the rest of the servant. They ain't been taking care of business. He came back and caught them sleeping. Because, we waiting on you to finally come back. He said, I'm going to give them they share with the hypocrites. So don't sit around and you sitting around and waiting. I'm just waiting. You need to go do the work of Jesus right now. Get yourself in God. Get yourself closer. Get yourself away from these things that are distracting you. Get yourself away from these Amalekite spirits. Get yourself into Jesus and let Jesus get you ready, get you trained with the Holy Ghost, get you ready, and get you moving. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you was a Muslim and then you found Jesus. I don't care if you're homosexual and you want to come to Jesus and Jesus is taking it from you. I don't care who you think you are, what race you are. Everybody's in the military. Everybody's in the military. The problem we having right now, you look at the military having right now, the problem is Goliath sitting out there and everybody too afraid to go fight him. They making up excuse after excuse. Well, I gotta go. Listen, I can't die if I fight Goliath. What if I die? Goliath name mean exile. That means exile. That means that long as he's in charge, you in exile. You in prison. You a slave until you go past him. Just all the believers. Oh yeah, well, ministers. Well, I know I should do it, but I don't want these people coming down here. See, doing what Pilate doing when Pilate had Jesus. See, he worried about what if these people, look at these people, they can uprise against me. They can rise up against me. You see, and then I got to worry about Caesar too, the government. See, the government may try to get me too. Caesar may get me, and then he may kill me, or I may lose my livelihood if I let Jesus loose. You see, it's like Jeremiah. Jeremiah figured he was scared. I got to keep letting. I got to let God loose. And every time I let God loose, these people want to beat me up, throw me in prison. So he afraid. One of these times, what if they hit me and I don't come back? One of these times, I can't take being in the jail no more. Some of us afraid to let Jesus loose. What if my family don't like me? Listen, I have people right now I can't find. I have people right now I can't find. People that were born again, came into the ministry, and it's like, fine. People they got, and you like find them now. You call them people, you can't find them anymore. You can't find them no more. Because you know why? You didn't hit a place. People sometimes don't understand it. They didn't hit a place in their life, they walk with God, where these people that was walking with you, now they got to take off. Because see, now what's going on now is you got to eat the flesh and drink the blood now. Now you going into the rest. Now you saying it's time to depend on God. And see, that was usually make a person leave. I done had to have my own stuff. These people, they know what? They're not, you know what? I can preach. You can preach the 6 commandments, a way of putting it. Meaning that you can preach about stuff that's clean and unclean. See, I can preach that, hey, that's unclean. They'll follow you. You're right. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't be violent. You're right. We should believe God in certain things, this and that. But when you start saying, okay, let's totally give everything over. See, give away everything and come on and follow Jesus. Come on, let's do it. I'm doing it. Let's you do it. Let's do it. All of a sudden, those guys I see, they gone. You see, if I don't hunt them down to try to find them, they ain't going to find me. These people that you thought was dedicated, but they ain't dedicated. Because, see, when you hit that level of going to number 7, let's give it all up and come on in.